Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video we are going to be reviewing the new ColourPop Orangey Glad 9 pan monochromatic eyeshadow palette. ColourPop was kind enough to send over the whole collection over my way. I just wanted to throw that out there before the video even got started, that everything was sent to me, but in today's video we are just going to be mainly focusing on the new eyeshadow palette because everything else in the collection is already existing, and I do want to give away some of the products to you guys in a future giveaway because I already have enough makeup as it is. I don't need any more, so we're just gonna focus on the palette today. I will talk about some of the products in the collection as well, but mainly just focusing on the eyeshadow palette. So if you guys are curious to hear about my opinion on the new palette, see some swatches and comparisons and my 3 looks, then just continue watching. So to get started with the video, let's start off with some product info because this collection is kind of big and not everything is new, but I do want to mention what is actually in this orange collection because there are a lot of bundles where I believe you do save a bit of money on, so that's always good. So of course we have the Orangey Glad 9 pan monochromatic palette. This is like the star of the show, what I'm most excited about, and that is $12 US. We have the blush stick duo, which comes with a blush and light stick, that is $14 US. There is a super shock shadow foursome, which is $20 US. Then we have the So Juicy duo, which you will get 2 So Juicy glosses for $12 US, and then we have a lippy stick duo, which is $10 US, and a brush bundle for $20 US. So everything is already existing besides the eyeshadow palette. Like, you can get everything on its own, but it's nice to have it in a bundle. But let's just talk about the Orangey Glad eyeshadow palette. So in this eyeshadow palette you will be getting 6 mattes, 2 metallics, and 1 pressed glitter. Honestly, first impressions, I was not expecting an orange palette just because I felt like the Soul palette was technically an orange palette, and I don't know, I feel like oranges, ColourPop has quite a lot of them and I didn't feel like maybe it was necessary. But anyway, when I was playing around with this palette and creating my looks, I did come across a few issues. The way I feel about this palette is kind of like how I felt about the yellow palette. So if you watched my review on that, you kind of know where this is kind of going. I will link my yellow palette review somewhere in the cards here, but when you see this palette, you will see that there's a good range of finishes. You get 6 mattes, 2 metallics, and 1 glitter. That is a good range. But the 6 mattes, I feel like they are good. I like the range in that, but there is nothing dark enough in this palette to really deepen up a look. Creating a half cut crease, for example, you need like a very dark shade for the cut crease to really pop out, and this palette doesn't really have it. Everything is a light to medium tone. There's nothing that's like a darker tone, and I feel like they could have created a darker orange and that would have been good and it was still have kept in this theme. But that is just like my only complaint, is that there isn't like a really dark shadow to really deepen up a look. Everything is just quite light and medium tone, and I mean, for some people that is all good. Probably don't want to create like a dramatic smoky eye, but I feel like if there's going to be 6 mattes, there should be a good range in those mattes. But nonetheless, I still like all the looks that I created. But although I liked all the looks that I created, I feel like I could have created that with other ColourPop palettes scattered around. It's good that we have all the oranges in one palette, and that's what I love about the 9 pans, is that everything is in one place. But I do feel like ColourPop does have quite a few good oranges in their collection already, in their palettes. But in saying that, when I was trying to find my comparisons, I don't actually have a lot of comparisons, to be honest, and I feel like a lot of them are just comparisons and not dupes, and I was quite surprised by that. I don't know, when I saw this palette, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna find so many comparisons and dupes for you guys. But when I was finding it, I really couldn't find that many comparisons and dupes, and you will see that a couple of the shadows that I did miss because I couldn't find anything like it. So I guess it was a good addition. I think I was just taken back a little bit because my first impression was that this is something that we didn't need, but you know, ColourPop, they know what we need. I shouldn't say anything, they know. I think that's just like my main complaint, is that I wish there was a darker shadow, just like the Honey palette. I wish there was a darker shadow, and I feel like with the yellow palette, like, I get it, you can't really make a darker shadow of yellow, but with oranges I feel like you kind of can, like a dark terracotta. That would be really pretty. I know we all have like a lot of palettes in our collection. You're not going to be only using this palette. You can obviously mix and match, but if you're just using this palette alone, that is what I'm trying to get at. So wrapping everything up, would I recommend this eyeshadow palette? Yes, because it is $12 US. You are getting great eyeshadows for its value, and you have all of your oranges in one place. But is it my favorite 9 pan palette? No. Because I already have so many palettes in my collection, I already have a lot of oranges, and although not all of them are the same, once it's on your eyes, if it's just slightly different, you can't really tell too much of a difference. So I would recommend it because it is a good palette. Like, you're gonna create beautiful looks out of it, but I feel like it's not like a necessary palette. I'm just gonna leave it at that, leave it up to you guys. If you want to get it, that is just my personal opinion. I don't regret it. I know I'm gonna use it, but it's just like an extra addition to my family. It's not like my ride or die, if you know what I mean. Now I just want to quickly talk about all of the extra items that comes in this collection, just because everything is already an existing like formula or shade, so I don't want to like talk too much about it because I probably already have like other videos on it. But let's just quickly talk about it just in case you do want my opinion on some of the products. So we have the blush duo called Orange Crush. You will get Bullseye and also Under Pressure blush stick. I like the blush stick. I actually already own these two shades. I will leave it in a card my review on these light and blush sticks, but I actually gave Under Pressure to my friend. It is a pretty color. It's not my go-to. It's not my favorite blush stick, but it is a very pretty shade. Bullseye is not my favorite light stick. It's a little bit too glittery for me, so I wouldn't like recommend this duo just because I personally don't like a glittery highlight. But if you do, then you probably will like Bullseye because it is a beautiful undertone. And then we have the But First Quench It Super Shock Shadow Foursome. I think this is like a really good duo. I think the shades in here are really pretty, and if you do save money, I would actually recommend it. I'm not the biggest fan on Super Shock shadows. I prefer they're pressed, but the metallics on these Super Shocks are really, really nice. I think they have a lot of dimension, a lot of glitter to it. So this duo I definitely would recommend if you are like interested in it. It looks super pretty. I think I might do like an IG video using these shadows. We'll see. Then we have the Not From Concentrate So Juicy duo. I really do love the So Juicy glosses, but I'm going to add this duo in a future giveaway. I already own so many of them that I don't need any more, and I feel like just because they are so sheer, some of the shades you can't really tell too much of a difference once it's on your lips, but it is a great formula if you like the shades that you see. I mean, why not? Just be aware you might already own it because these are not new shades. And then we have the You're So Appealing, the lippy stick duo. You get Chi Chi and Parker. Again, these are their best selling lippy sticks, so you might already own it. I decided to add this into my giveaway bin. I love the lippy sticks, but I don't use them as often as I do the lip tints and the Luxe lipsticks. And the last item in this collection is the brush bundle. I actually gave this to my friend. I think for $20 US. I think you get 5 brushes inside. Is an amazing deal, so I would actually really recommend that. I don't know, I just feel like for this collection I wish they would have came out with new products. I would have loved to see like a BFF mascara or BFF liquid liner. I just want a brown liquid liner, okay? I want a brown BFF liquid liner from ColourPop. They made the brown mascara. I'm waiting for the brown liner. I think that would have paired really nicely with this palette, because with this eye look I wish I had a brown liquid liner to do. I didn't want to use black, but I did because I don't have a brown liquid liner, so I wish ColourPop would have came out with like something new. And I think for this collection it would have been nice to release more just a tint lip crayons, like in more orange shades, because literally I use Rise and Shine for all 3 looks because that was like the one that complemented it. A lot of the lip crayons are more like pinky and red. There's not too many peachy orangey shades, so that would have been a good opportunity for them to come out with more. I think Super Shock blushes, that would have been nice, like orange Super Shock blushes, or even pressed blushes, that would have been really pretty too. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed my rapid speed review. So with that being said, let's move on to the swatches, comparisons, and my 3 looks. To get started with the first look, I will be taking the shade Zested. I'm going to wash this all over my lid space just to set the tone and the direction of this eye look. It is a very light color, so it is going to work great as a transition and as a base color. I'm moving on to the shade Creamsicle, and this is going to be my transition shadow. I'm going to focus this into my crease using windshield wiping motion. I'm going to try my best not to bring this up too high because I do want this look to look a little bit more natural. Now I'm taking the shade Ya Peel Me, and I'm going to use this shadow to smudge up against my lash line just to create some definition at the lash line, just because I do have sparse lashes and because we are not applying any falsies today, I do want some definition up against that lash line to make my lashes appear a bit fuller. I'm also going to take that same shade and I'm going to run this onto my lower lash line, but I'm only going to focus it right at the outer corners. I'm going to stop it towards the middle of my bottom lower lash line. And now I'm taking Tangerine Dreams. I'm gonna use this dry, I'm not using it wet, but I'm gonna place that right at the center of my lid just to give a bit of shimmer and glimmer to the eyes. Just because this whole eye look was all matte, I think adding a pop of shimmer will really help enhance the eyes. I'm also gonna place this right at the inner corners of my eyes as well, just to tie in the entire look. And this is the first look completed. For my lip color, I am wearing the ColourPop Just a Tint lip crayon in the shade Rise and Shine. I hope you guys liked another look from me that didn't involve lashes. It's a very simple eye look to do, but I feel like it still gives off a statement, and I love the orange warm tones. You guys know me, so I hope you guys enjoyed this first look. Now for the second look, I'm starting off with the shade Sunkissed, and this is going to be my transition shadow. I'm going to put that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions, and I'm going to blend that up towards my brow bone. I'm also going to bring this onto my lower lash line as well, just all over the lower lash line. I'm also connecting the shadows at the outer corner, that way the whole eye look can connect and look as one. Moving on to the shade Mimosa Mami. I'm gonna pack this on all over my lid space. This is a different kind of orange, like it has a different undertone, but I love like the dimension that it will give to the final eye look. So I'm just packing that right onto my lid and blending that in towards the transition shadow. Now I am taking Rise and Grind, which is another orange, but I'm just going to also pack that onto my lid as well. Focus this more to my lid space, like closer to my lash line, rather than blending it in towards the transition shadow that we did before. I just feel like it's going to bring all the orange tones together, and I really wanted to use all the shadows in this palette, so just packing on all the oranges in this eye look is really going to give the overall orange monochromatic vibe that we are aiming for. Now I am taking Squeeze Me. I'm actually going to use this first dry, and I'm just going to pack that on all over my lid space. Like I'm even going to bring it up towards like my crease area. I just want a whole wash of this color all over my lid, and then I will use a smaller brush and use it wet to really pack on the color right at the center. As you can see, I'm also bringing that in towards my inner corners as well to highlight. Now I'm taking Ya Peel Me, and I'm gonna use this to define my lower lash line by pressing it up against my bottom waterline. It's just to give a bit of definition to the lower lash line, that way the eyes can kind of balance out. Now using the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Puppy, I'll be using this to tightline my entire bottom waterline. Alright guys, so this is the second look completed. For my lashes, I am wearing the Boudoir Lights from House of Lashes. And for my lip pairing, I decided to go with the ColourPop Just a Tint Lip Crown in the shade Rise and Shine and the Luxe lipstick in the shade Chick Please. I kind of just made a mixture of two just to get the right tones to match the eyeshadows, and I feel like I did a really good job. I even applied an orange blush and I also added orange stars under my eyes to complete this final monochromatic look, because you guys know me, I had to create a monochromatic look with a monochromatic palette, duh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this second look. Getting started with the final look, I'm going to be taking the shade Creamsicle, and this is going to be my transition shadow. I'm just going to put that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions, making sure that we are getting it all over in the crease area. Since we are creating a half cut crease, we do need this product to be spread out around the crease. Moving on to the shade Rise and Grind, I'm going to place this first at the outer corner of my eye to really build up that depth at the outer corner. But I'm also going to bring some of that product right into the inner part of my crease as well. Just trying your best not to overtake the transition shadow that we just placed down earlier. And now taking your Peel Me, this is slightly darker than Rise and Grind, but not too much darker, so it's not going to create too much depth. But when you are creating a half cut crease, you do want to create as much depth as you can, so I'm just going to go in with this shade, doing exactly the same thing that I did with Rise and Grind, but I am using a smaller brush. Then taking my P. Louise eyeshadow base, I'm going to use this to cut out my half cut crease by just placing that right at the inner third of my eye, kind of mapping out my crease shape. And then I will take a smaller, thinner paintbrush to really define and cut that crease line. Just take your time when you are cutting your crease out. I feel like everybody has different techniques on how they cut their creases, so just do you. This is just how I do it and how I find it easier on my eyes. But then I'm going to take Clementine, and this is the pressed glitter in the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to put this right on top of that P. Louise base that we just placed down to cut out our crease. It has a lot of finer glitters, but then it has a bit of chunkier glitters that's also pressed in as well. And I'm actually going to try my best to get one of those chunkier glitters, and I'm going to try and put that right at the inner corners of my eyes just to act as an highlight. Usually I will go in with a gem, but it kind of works out because it's more of a thicker glitter. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm going back into the shade Rise and Grind. I'm just going to sweep this all over my lower lash line, right from the outer corner to the inner corner. And taking a bit of your Peel Me, I'm going to use this to define my bottom lower lash line. Again, since it's not really a dark shade, it's not going to really do too much defining, but I'm going to take what I can get from the palette, so I'm just going to do that. Then I will be using my Ardency in Modster eyeliner to tightline my entire bottom waterline. I'm also going to smudge it out on my lower lash line as well, just to create that dark smokiness that I want. And this, guys, is the final look completed. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For my lashes, I am wearing the iconic light from House of Lashes. For my lip pairing, again, I went with the ColourPop Just a Tint Lip Crayon in the shade Rise and Grind. It's like the perfect orange everyday color. It just paired well with every single look, so I ended up using it for all the looks, but I love it. I love this half cut crease. So I hope you guys enjoyed this final look as well. Alright guys, so this is going to complete today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you guys think of this collection from ColourPop? What do you think of the eyeshadow palette? Since that's the star of the show, the only new thing in this collection. What do you guys think of the orange palette? Yes, before you guys comment, I will be doing the strawberry collection. I didn't purchase it yet because I feel like ColourPop might send it to me. So I'm just waiting a couple couple days for that, and if they don't send it in the next week or so, I will go ahead and purchase it myself. I just don't want to get doubles of everything, if you know what I mean, so I'm just like waiting it out for a little bit, but I will film the strawberry palette. I have a lot to say about the strawberry palette too, but we'll get to that in my review once I film it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!